Good evening, YouTube. It is your girl, the Real Teddy Talks, coming at you this Monday evening with Money Motivation Monday. All right, here we go. So yesterday on Soul Searching Sunday, I kind of went on a real talk session about the time is now, stop making excuses. Like whatever your thing is and you're waiting to do, start a business, get another degree, get in better shape, eat better, vacation. It's COVID. I know that was a bad example. Whatever it is, the time is now. Stop making excuses. Start it. So from the business side of it, on the Money Motivation Monday side, I like to not just tell you what you should be doing. I want to tell you how you should do it. So I'm going to give you 10 steps to successfully start a business. All right. So I have my list written down here. So I'll be glancing down to look at that. The very first thing I would say when you're trying to start a business is you need to assess your finances. I'm a big financial guru. Y'all know it's my background. I have a degree in it, and I want everyone to be very cognizant, very knowledgeable, and understand your money goals, your money situation, and how you're going to get to where you want to be. Like completely understand it. No questions asked. Like on Shark Tank when they're like, how much capital you have, what's your return on investment, how much you need to know that about your money. All right. So assess your finances, figure out, have a small budget. I mean, it doesn't have to be super detailed, like not detailed budget, but you need to know how much money you have coming in, how much money you have going out, and therefore how much money you have to dedicate to your business idea, and your business growth. You can start small, but if you don't know how much you have, how can you plan? And as we're going to stay on the vein and still in number one of assessing your finances, you need to watch your expenses. I've started at least 4 businesses, probably more like 6, if I count all of even my earlier business ventures. And it adds up quickly when you're starting to buy website services, email services, if you're going to be doing some kind of service and you have a uniform and you have logo kits and all these subscription services, you're buying all this educational material, it adds up quickly. So you need to start jotting down what you want to do. You need to jot down the prices of it and make sure you're staying within your budget. You don't have to do everything right away. There are some things that are more immediate than others. Do those first and then have on your list and work on those next things bit by bit. How do you eat an elephant? Bite by bite. That is it. That is a business. Your business is the elephant. Take it bite by bite. Don't rush into it. Take your time, but be moving forward in perpetual motion at all times. Number 2, build your team. So a lot of us are out here on our own. I am thankful I have my husband, who is like my number one stunner, and he sits with me and he helps me formulate my business ideas, grow my business, and be my director of operations, my general manager, my chief of logistics, like whatever I need him to do, he is right there beside me. I have my sister who I bounce ideas off of, and she gives me advice. She's been a consultant for years with a very popular like Fortune 100 company. So she helps me understand some business side of things that I'm in the Air Force, so I have that. It's kind of like a corporate job. I consider it a corporate job, but it's not quite corporate. There's the real civilian corporate side, and she knows that, and she helps me along. And when I say build your team, this is not necessarily people on your payroll. This is people that are riding for you and helping you grow your ideas, grow your business, and offer you valuable advice that you can take or not take, because you have enough information to make an educated decision. These are people that if you said, hey, can you X, Y, and Z, they can jump up and do that. And when you're starting your business, they're not sitting here like this, gimme, gimme, gimme with their hands out. They're like, what can I do to help? How can I help? And they're not even thinking about the payment. They're not counting your pockets. They're not like, first commission check, how much was that? They're sitting there rooting for you and helping you along. And a big part of that is your mentor. I've discussed, I have a couple mentors in my life. My most favorite mentor currently from my business side is my GovCon mentor, and she is like an ace in the hole. She's my, I don't call her my secret weapon. We'll be doing some projects together here in the future, but I really love her. I love her value that she adds, and she is the mentor of all ages, and I appreciate everything she has to offer. So build your team. That is number 2. Get your team built. Number 3, pick your venue. And by that, I mean, where are you going to present yourself? Where are you going to begin your brand? Is it going to be an online venture? Is it going to be an actual storefront? Are you opening a restaurant? Are you selling baby clothes? Like, what is your thing? Is it going to be on social media? I mean, there are millions of people, probably at least hundreds of thousands, making significant money on social media. Instagram's a big one. Facebook is a big one. I'm sure there are others, but those are the 2 that I can think of that are the most profitable. And of course, YouTube. I mean, how could I leave that one out? YouTube. So pick your avenue of presentation, learn everything you can about it. And I would recommend you start with one, move to another and another. I probably wouldn't expand past 3 until you have a team that can really help you manage all that. It sounds good to kind of spread yourself out there, but when you're replying to comments and you're replying to questions and you're trying to pump your audience up and all that, it gets really hard to do that over several different platforms. And if you're adding in an actual storefront, then it's damn near impossible. So you're only one person and you only have 24 hours in a day. And of those, you need to sleep, you need to meditate, you need to focus, you need to plan, you need to stay healthy, and you need to work out. So those 24 hours a day are not just dedicated to business. All right. So that's number 3. Pick your venue. Moving on to number 4, you need to decide your structure, your business structure, your legitimate business structure. The largest 2 I recommend for someone who really starting out from the bottom moving to the top is between a sole proprietorship and a limited liability corporation, an LLC. And within the LLC, depending on who you have on your team, who you're working with, you can be a sole person under your LLC, a sole proprietorship, or you can have a partner under your LLC as well. The biggest difference between the 2, sole proprietorship doesn't require you to do any legal paperwork per se. You may have to register your name as a DBA, doing business as, but that's about it. The problem is, depending on what you're selling, it opens you up to liability, plain and simple. If you don't have a legal entity around your business or your name, when someone has beef with you, and if they have libel or if they have the ability to sue you or bring suit against you or claims against you, they're doing it against you personally, and that's not good. So I highly recommend, if you have the gumption and the drive, to just get an LLC, and that protects your personal assets as well as other things. I'm not a lawyer, but read up on it. I have a few, so I recommend you do the same, okay? So you need to decide the legitimate structure of your business. Number 5, pick your name. If you have multiple businesses like me, you can have different names, but the name matters. You'll want to check in databases online. You want to see if anyone else has that name. You want to see if anyone else in your city, in your state, and the country has that name, depending on what you're selling, what you're offering, what services you're providing. It may matter across state lines, but then it may matter across nationwide or around the world. So you just want to check on those things and make sure that you are a unique entity in that space. And most importantly, you want to make sure that it's not already trademarked or owned by someone, because that will cause you severe problems down the line. That will cause you a lot of branding, recovery issues, as you have to change your brand because that person had it first. Even if they're not famous, even if they're not making any money on it, you have to check that. So do your research and find out what's going on. Number 6, actually register your business. You have to check your city, your county, your state regulations. I remember when I had a business when I lived in Tennessee, and it was really cute because it was a personal shopping service, like a personal assistant, basically. And the newspaper did this big story on me. It was like it was a middle-sized town. And they did a story on me, and it was so funny. I was so proud of myself. I was in the newspaper. I think the news even picked up the story. And sure enough, the next day, the local business office of that city called me, and they're like, "Hey, we saw your article." I was like, "Hey, thank you." They're like, "And we noticed you're not registered and you don't have a business license yet." And I was like, okay, all right, I'll look into that. And they're trying to push me to do it, but I hadn't had enough revenue that I needed to be registered with them. But it caught me way off guard. It kind of knocked me off my high horse for a second and made me start looking up things and regulations and rules, because I'm the person that I don't want you to have a piece of nothing I have. So I'm going to follow the rules when it comes to legality, because I don't want you trying to get my paper. I don't want to be fined or anything like that, or taxed. So learn the rules and follow them. So I can say, take it from me. All right, number 7, get your EIN. That is your taxpayer ID number. It'll register you with the federal government. It'll give you your out when filing your taxes. And I say it's an out because once you have your business established and legitimized, you can start deducting things. You can start deducting expenses. You can deduct courses. You can deduct travel. You can deduct supplies. I mean, it's amazing. This is probably one of the main reasons I keep businesses, is for the deductions alone. I mean, as you get older and you start growing in your business, especially if you're in the corporate world, taxes start to eat up your income. So you always want to find a way to reduce that liability of the tax liability. Highly recommend getting an EIN, make yourself super official. And when you get online and you start signing up for things like PayPal and Stripe, and you got your WooCommerce store and your Shopify store, one of the first questions they're going to ask you is, what is your EIN number? What is your business name? And what is your business bank account? We're going to get to that a little later. But these are important questions, so you can go on the fly, and that works for some people some of the time. But it ain't gonna last forever. And if you really want to blow up, like I think you can blow up, just do it right from the start. Get your EIN. It takes literally online, it's like 10 minutes. And then you have to wait till they send it to you. You have it within a day. Easy peasy, for real, do it. Number 8, make sure you have proper licensing, depending on what job you're having, what you're doing. If you're selling food, I'm assured you're going to need some kind of license for that. If you're providing some kind of service, like a technical service, plumbing, electrical work, you're going to need proper certifications for that. Financial advice, you need proper certifications. So let me put my disclaimer. I'm not a financial advisor, so take everything that I say with a grain of salt. I do have education behind me, but not a certification for advising. So this is just the world according to Teddy. Take it or leave it. All right. So get your proper licensing. And again, make sure you're legit. It just saves you trouble down the road. Some people don't like to live the legit lifestyle, but if you're trying to ball out, you need to go ahead and get legit so you can keep all your money. Number 9, your business bank account. You have to have a business bank account because you don't want to mix your personal funds and your business funds. It's just the two don't marry well. And when it's tax time or accounting time or audit time, you need those things separate so that your business entity is definitely separate from your personal entity. And one thing that me and my husband did when we were looking for a business bank account and bank accounts in general is I call around, or I read the newspaper. I mean, not the newspaper for real. I read online offers. Nobody reads the paper anymore. That's so sad. I digress. And we're looking for offers from banks that have open an account with X amount of dollars and get a bonus $300 after 3 months. Open an account with $2,000, get $500. Open an account, make 3 deposits of $1,000 in 3 months and get a free $500. Whatever it is, that's the account I'm opening. The last business account we opened was with Chase, and it was for that reason. I think we had to open it with $2,500 and make 3 deposits over 3 months, and then we got another $500. You don't get no better than that. Free $500, literally. So we had it, and then the account had to stay open for another 6 months. So highly recommend that. Do your research, check around, find your bargain. And finally, brand yourself. Once you've chosen your name, you've chosen your venue, you're legit, got your license, you got your business license, your corporate structure, and your bank account, then you want to start branding yourself. And take a course on it. I highly recommend it because you can change your brand along the way, but you kind of want to start off on the path you want to go. You don't have to have it all figured out by any means. You can tell I don't have it figured out, but you want to start heading in a direction, and you can make slight deviations and alterations along the way. But your branding matters. Who you're talking to, how you're talking to them, who is your audience. Do you want to be known as the girl who keeps it real and cussing? Because then you're blocking yourself off from the kid market, or you should be. Do you want to talk about sex? Do you want to talk about drugs? Do you want to talk about a loose life? I mean, it depends on what it is, but that's all part of your brand, and it's going to establish who your viewers are going to be and who your followers are going to be, and that matters. So think about it long and hard, and then move in that direction. So I told you the 10 ways to get your business off the ground. I said assess your finances, build your team, pick your venue, pick your legal structure, then pick your name. Number 6, register your business. Number 7, get your EIN. Number 8, make sure you have proper licensing if it's necessary. Number 9, open your business bank account. And number 10, brand yourself. I hope I gave you some life this evening and motivated you to go ahead and get started and do it piece by piece. You can do it. How to eat an elephant? That's right, a bite at a time. This is the Real Teddy Talks, signing off.